What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's having a good day. Got a lot to cover in today's episode, including the Solana hack and why this one's a little bit more unnerving than usual. Plus, Michael Saylor resigning from his CEO role. I'll tell you the real reason why he left that role later in the episode. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at bencryptoshow. Let's begin. So first of all, the YouTube channel doing great here. Almost at 5,000 subscribers, about 4,800 right now. It's great. Going in the right direction. Very happy with that. Twitter's kind of a different story. A little more difficult there. I think a lot of people are kind of just frustrated with the dinosaurs on there refusing to die off and not really a new crop of crypto Twitter people coming in to replace them. But YouTube going great. Even Telegram's been getting a lot of increased activity lately, I see. So it's good news here. Yesterday my video was, who is Satoshi Nakamoto? So to summarize the video yesterday, there were 4 candidates: Hal Finney, Craig Wright, Nick Szabo, and Dave Kleiman. So in the end, I'm concluding Nick Szabo most likely initially came out with the original idea, his big gold thesis in 1998, and Nick Szabo also almost certainly wrote the white paper. His linguistic style is by far and away the most similar to Satoshi's linguistic style in the Bitcoin white paper. But Hal Finney, he certainly did come up with the nickname Satoshi Nakamoto because his neighbor in Los Angeles was a guy named Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto, who was also a computer programmer. They were friends, and Hal Finney appeared, he was giving a tribute to his friend there with the nickname. And Craig Wright, while he probably wasn't quite as senior as Nick Szabo and Hal Finney, he almost certainly was in the top 3, 4, 5 initial adopters. So, in conclusion, it might be a little bit disappointing to most people, but I think it's highly likely that all 4 of those people, or 3 out of 4, or maybe there's a 5th person, created the Satoshi Nakamoto to sort of, leave the illusion that there was one mysterious person, that it wasn't them, basically, so there wouldn't be a trail on either one of them. I believe Satoshi was a collection of all 4 of those people, Nick Szabo and Hal Finney being the prime 2 initial people, and then Nick Szabo being the most influential and almost certainly the one who wrote the white paper and came up with the initial thesis for Bitcoin. So that's my conclusion there, but still watch the video. It's a good one. Getting a lot of views, almost 2,000 there. It's a little more than usual. It's good. It's getting the price action for the day. So what are we at now? 23,300. So kind of flat. Not too much of a Tuesday pump. Not too much of a Wednesday pump, but just sort of flat through the week. This is August for you. August crypto prices just stay the same. They don't really go up. They either stay the same or they go down very slightly. July is kind of the same. Historically, July prices have stayed the same or gone up slightly. So this isn't really surprising. I'm expecting kind of lateral price action for a while now. There's just not enough new news or momentum in the month of August to generate the pumps, the infusion of energy that creates people to, go out, buy Bitcoin, get the prices higher. But that could be coming pretty soon. Obviously, when prices stay lateral for a long time, like another month or so, then history says they break sharply one way or the other. They either go sharply up, they go sharply down. They do not stay the same, so volatility is expected in a little bit if these prices remain the same. As we know in Terra, the last time when prices were the same, about 30,000 for 2 months, then we know what happened there. It broke sharply down in 2018 when prices were at 6,000 for a while. Several months, about 6 months, they broke sharply down to 3,000. But there's been other times where prices can break sharply up when they've been steady for a while, so we shall see. Let's move on to the Solana hack here. So it wasn't really that much in dollar amounts. I think it was 5,000 total wallets, about $8 million total. That number will probably go up, I'd imagine. It's a little bit different than usual because most hacks, the hacker gets a hold of the private key for the hot wallet that the wallet owner has. So, when all your funds are in a wallet or whatnot, the owner of that company essentially has control of the hot wallet. And then if he loses that private key and a hacker gets a hold of it, the hacker will just drain all the funds. This was a little bit different because they appeared to get the private key to each of the 5,000 plus wallets on the Phantom network. And then, so all those were different private keys. That's why it was a little more sophisticated than usual, I want to say. They didn't need to just crack one private key. They needed to get 5,000 plus. And in unison, they seem to just drain all 5,000 wallets. So it's a little more unnerving than usual just because of the increased sophistication in this attack, even though it was less dollar amount. Solana's price wasn't really affected that much. Here's the drop right here. It went down about, 7-8%. Then it's been creeping back up since then. Obviously, Solana's been affected by a ton of hacks. People are used to it right now, and the dollar amount wasn't that high, so it didn't cause too much of a price plummet. But their big hack was, what was this, about 6 months ago or so, February this year, the $320 million hack, and then Jump Crypto actually immediately bailed them out about a week later to the tune of $320 million. I wonder if Jump Crypto regrets that bailout now, because this was in early February. The market was much higher. Bitcoin was close to 50,000. Now Bitcoin's much lower, so I wonder if they regret this. I would have to assume going forward, these sort of very high volume bailouts, when hacks happen, are probably not going to be happening as much, just, because there's market volatility, there's diversification to worry about. We'll see. And then this wasn't the only hack of the day. So this attack happened 2 days ago. The Nomad cross-chain bridge, a $200 million hack. All the big hacks are always cross-chain bridges. The cross-chain bridge is when you exchange tokens that are on one network, like Polygon, exchange it into another network, like Ethereum, Solana, for example. The Nomad bridge is just another bridge that connects Ethereum, Avalanche, others. So, yeah, this isn't really too surprising. All the big value hacks, it's always the cross-chain bridges. This appears to be some sort of uniform security vulnerability that hackers are just repeatedly breaching here, but that was a big one. It didn't really cause too much of a dip in the markets, so that is good. I'm sure everyone's heard by now the Microstrategy news. Michael Saylor, CEO of Microstrategy, he has stepped down from his chairman role, sort of a forced resignation, it seems. He will still be on as their kind of go-to Bitcoin guy and in some sort of executive role. They haven't really named the role, but the real reason, they just released earnings yesterday, and then obviously MicroStrategy, they have not really had a good year. Their stock is down 48% on the year. Bitcoin is down 51% of the year, so I think the company, they probably don't really want MicroStrategy being aligned specifically with Bitcoin as much as it is. Michael Saylor, most people know him as just the Bitcoin guy, not really the MicroStrategy guy. So when these two stock prices and coin prices are down basically the exact same amount, that's a little bit too much correlation. I think the board at MicroStrategy just didn't really like that anymore. So the split in the roles, and then also, but here's the real reason. They're in their revenue statements. I mean, total revenues were down 2.6% from a year ago. So this does not include the $900 million impairment charge that they took on MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings being down for the year. This is just the core revenues down 2.6% on the year. You do not want that. You always want core revenues growing. I mean, profitability might be another story. Maybe companies need to sort of re-strategize with different divisions within the company, lay some people off, hire people here. But if the total revenues are just dropping year to year, even if it's just 2.6%, that is not good. So that's really the real reason why MicroStrategy, why Michael Saylor was sort of relegated to a lower tier executive role, in my opinion. His longtime nemesis, CryptoWhale, obviously celebrating here. A flurry of tweets about 16 hours ago, right after the news broke. You can check out the tweets yourself. Very personal in nature. These two have been beefing for as long as I have been on crypto Twitter. I have no idea why they're beefing. I don't think anyone else does. Who knows? But, sort of fun entertainment there. Drink of water. Let's move on. Hashed. So this is kind of an old story. So Hashed is a South Korean venture capital fund, a big one. So they lost $3 billion on Terra Luna a few months ago when it imploded. We already sort of know this. But again, this just shows the amount of money that can be made and then lost, but more so made. It shows that their initial investment was 30 million Luna. I believe the Luna pre-sale price like years ago was 80 cents. So that's like a 20 to 25 million USD initial investment that turned into $3 billion in only a couple of years. It's pretty good. So again, a lot of money to be made and a lot of money to be lost quickly, but more so people see this sort of article and just kind of look at the money to be made because those returns are absolutely eye-popping. The hedge fund will be focusing on GameFi going forward with the less lesser of a focus on the risky altcoins, I would have to imagine. Robinhood laying off 23% of their staff after a disappointing earnings report, just like MicroStrategy had. Where are the numbers here? So they'd already laid off 9% of their staff earlier in the year. I guess that was not quite enough, and I guess they kind of decided the market's going to sort of stay at this low level for a little bit. It's not going to rebound quickly. But yeah, their core revenue is down 44% year over year, so that's not very good either. Now, their revenues are strictly trading related, so it's obviously isn't too surprising when the market's down. Trading revenues, especially retail trading revenues, are going to be down big time. Net loss they lost $295 million. That's not a very good bottom line. And then monthly active users were down 1.9 million. So it went down from 14 million active users in June a couple months ago to 12 million active users now. So that's not quite that bad. It was much more of a drop last quarter compared to the quarter before that. And then some updates on the altcoins here. So DeHotels, they're still in the fundraising process, going strong. I will be giving more updates with them as more updates come along, but they're doing well. And then also, from that team there, and I'm also involved in a project called RosyWhale. Now, RosyWhale, it's kind of a cheesy name, I know what you're saying, but the product's kind of cool here. So it is a algorithmic trading sort of bot. We'll be doing a featured video on them later, but basically, you send your money to the bot, then you own your keys the whole time. This is not like a DeFi thing where you give up your keys and it's a 30-day lock-in. You can just send money to the bot whenever. You can take money out whenever you want. And then there's a secret sauce algorithmic trading strategy that does the trades based upon changes in volume on the top 30 coins specifically. So it's not too risky. It's just the top 30 coins. That's good. And then instead of you studying the daily volumes every day and having to enter into trades based upon when you think a coin is going to go up based upon volume changes and a coin is going to go down based on volume changes, this just does it for you, and it has its formula there. You get a lot of traction in Telegram. It's obviously, Twitter being kind of quiet. Telegram is always a good alternative. It's more just kind of a flow of conversation. People are always just talking about coins, stocks, price movements, stuff like that. It's just good dialogue. So their Telegram page is going pretty strong. But yeah, I'll be doing a featured video on them in a little bit. It's a product in the team. Same team, excited about that, but the product I'm very excited about, especially, with people just being very frustrated in crypto Twitter with their top analysts being sort of inaccurate with their calls, and then even worse, sometimes they're trying to take credit for good trade calls that maybe they said once out of 10 times. RosyWhale sort of takes care of that. It just does the trading for you. The results, 30% annual return, so it's a very risk-averse strategy, which in this day and age is good. Look out for that video soon. That's it for today. I'll be doing a new video tomorrow. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at bencryptoshow, and do hit the like and subscribe button here. That helps out the channel. See everyone tomorrow. Ben Crypto signing out. Later.